weekly Bhakti Vaibhav class. So in the previous class, we were discussing about Narada Muni having explained the meaning of the allegorical story, the meaning of the different names of the different characters. Then he begins to explain that how karma binds one, how by jnana one should elevate oneself to the level of understanding that one is in dream. Whatever is happening in one's current life, whatever pain and pleasure one is going through, it is all like a dream and one should get up. Then by taking shelter of bhakti, one should stop dreaming once again. So what is the meaning of bhakti? Bhakti means come in the association of devotees, wherein one gets to practice Ravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam and other bhakti activities, which eventually take one go back home back to Godhead, and one will never be part of future dreams. So that is where we were discussing, and different bhakti activities are mentioned in the previous verse and this verse. That is, we stopped at 30th verse. We'll continue today from 39th onwards. Sochira deva rajarsya syad attucha katashraya shrunvata shraddhanasya nityada syad adiyata. O saintly king, one who hears and studies regularly with faith very soon attains bhakti yoga in the form of shelter of topics of the Lord to attain prema. So by regularly performing bhajana kriya in the operation of devotees, there is another vruti, then eventually there comes nishta. That nishta takes one to bhava prema platform. So that is understanding. Sadhana for attaining prema is also bhakti yoga. One should take shelter of topics of the Lord to attain prema. Who is qualified? Those who study Bhagavad Dharma and hear and chant and remember the Lord with faith. These are the people who are qualified to practice Bhagavad Dharma, who are qualified to come to the platform of Bhava and Prema. What to do? Those who study Bhagavad Dharma, those who hear about Bhagavad Dharma, those who talk about Bhagavad Dharma, and those who continuously contemplate upon Bhagavad Dharma. Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. These are the most important activities among all the Bhakti activities. Shrunvata Shraddhaya Nityam Gunatasa Shashistam Kalena Nati Dirigena Bhagavan Ishtevadi. When we do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, in no time, the Bhagavan manifests within the core of our heart. Tasma Sarvartmana Rajan Hari Sarvatra Sarvada Shrotavya Kirtitavyasya Smartavyo Bhagavan Ranam. Therefore, in order to come back to Godhead, one should always Sarvatra at all time, Sarvada at all places. Sarvatra is at all places, Sarvada is at all time. One should do Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam, and also other Bhakti activities also, one by one. So this is what we discussed last week, and today we'll continue from there on. Narada Muni further talks about in order to inspire Pracinabarhi to take up Bhakti seriously and to stay away from Karmakanda rituals. So that was the discussion. So before moving further, any devotees had any questions based on last class while reading at your home, at your respective places?
No,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Okay.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. So we'll continue from verse number 39 onwards. So very interesting section and also little technical section. So we'll see. Yatra Bhagavata Rajan Sadhavo Vishadashaya Bhagavad Gunanukatana Shravana Vyagra Chetasaha Tasmin Mahan Mukarita Madhubicharitra पीयूष शेष सरिता परितस्रवन्ति ता ए पिबन्ति अवितृशो नृपगाढकर्णैस्तान्ना स्पृशन्ति यसनतृद् भयशोकमोहा. Someone read the translation?
My dear king, In the place where pure devotees live, following the rules and regulations, and thus purely conscious and engaged with great eagerness in hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that place, if one gets a chance to hear their constant flow of nectar, which is exactly like the waves of a river, one will forget the necessities of life, namely hunger and thirst, and become immune to all kinds of fear, lamentation, and illusion.
Hmm. So here the question is that what is an ideal atmosphere to cultivate that prema? Basically, in order to come to prema platform, one need to practice sadhana bhakti. So what is the ideal place to practice sadhana bhakti? The ideal place to practice sadhana bhakti is association of devotees. As Prabhupada quotes in the purport, Satam prasanga navavir samvido bhavanti ritkarna rasayana kata tadjoshanad ashu apavarga vartmani shraddha bhaktir rati. Shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. Only in the association of pure devotees, the Lord's pastimes will manifest in reality. And eventually, one gradually progresses from bhajana kriya, anata nivrutti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema. So that continued gradual progression takes place only in the association of devotees when one starts hearing Lord's pastimes and describing Lord's pastimes and rendering service and contemplating upon those pastimes, it will take place. So then, what happens in such a association? Of course, this is from third canto. Here, if Narada Muni asks a question, okay, you are telling me to associate devotees, but what happens in the devotee association? That is mentioned in these two verses. Where there are devotees with pure hearts and proper conduct, who are eager to hear discussions of the qualities of the Lord, profuse streams of nectar of the pastimes of the Lord, emanating from the mouths of the saintly devotees, the Mahaprasad of the devotees, flow everywhere. What is the speciality of the association of devotees? The speciality of the association of the devotees is that their hearts are pure and they possess proper conduct and they are eager to hear about Nama, Rupa, Guna Lila of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavad Guna Anukatana. And because they are eager to hear, there are many devotees eager to speak. As a result, there is a profuse stream of nectar of the pastimes of the Lord. Piyusha Shesha Sarita Madhubit Charitra. The pastimes of the Lord are continuously flowing like the Ganga river, which is continuously speedily flowing and which is emanating from the mouths of the saintly devotees. Since it is coming out of the mouth of the saintly devotees, it is their Mahaprasad. And just like Ganga goes all over, their Mahaprasad also is available to everyone, whoever there to accept by hearing. This is the speciality of the association of devotees. So then the one who comes to this association, what they are supposed to do? Those who drink that nectar, having come to that association, there is a nectar of river is going on continuously from the mouths of the pure devotees. The hearer should be eager to drink it. Those who drink that nectar with firm ears, ghada karnai, with constant thirst, there should be eagerness to drink that nectar. Without eagerness, one cannot drink. After 5 minutes, one gets bored. Those who drink that nectar with firm ears, with constant thirst, Avitrusho, O king, will not be touched by such kind of eager devotees who are eager to hear Krishna Katha and eventually do all other bhakti activities. Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasam, Sakim, Atman, Vedanam, etc. etc. They will not be touched by hunger and thirst. Hunger and thirst are the symptoms of the gross body. Hunger and thirst belongs to gross body. Gross body continuously goes through hunger and thirst. Every 1 hour we feel like drinking something. Every 4-5 hours we feel like eating something. So that is a symptom of the gross body. They'll be taken away. Those who hearing Krishna Katha, those who are drinking the nectar of Krishna Katha, should not feel hunger and thirst. If we are feeling hunger and thirst in between, we are not hearing Krishna Katha. But then we should not feel hunger and thirst. I am not saying, here Narada Muni is saying. And then there will be no fear, no lamentation, and no illusion. Shoka, Moha, Bhaya. These are the symptoms of the subtle body. The mind always goes through these transformations, always fearful about what is going to happen tomorrow, always lamenting about what had happened in the past, always under illusion about the current, present. Shoka, Moha, Bhayapaha. The same thing was mentioned in the first canto also, if you remember. Yasyam vai Shuryamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakturutpadate Pumsha Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. When we hear Krishna Katha systematically, eventually as we progress in spiritual life, when we come to Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava platform, Shoka, Bhava, Bhaya and Moha will be removed completely. So that's what there it is said, and same thing you repeat again here by Narada.
How do you hear it?
Huh?
How do you hear?
I don't know. We should follow in the footsteps of Parikshit Maharaj. 7 days, 7 nights without any break, continuously here. But like, it is not like that. One should have that kind of eagerness. For the sake of hearing Krishna Katha, one should be ready to give up other things. So, at least as of today, we should have that kind of aspiration. One day, one will come to this point. So, this is what Narada Muni says. This is what happens when one who is eager to come to Prema platform, not that just for practicing for the namesake. Those who are eager to come to Prema platform, they should be in the association of such kind of devotees who are eager to hear, who are eager to speak. The Krishna Katha is flowing like Ganga. And then they should drink it with what you can say, constant thirst. Abhi jab bhuka nahi, when someone is thirsty, he drinks water glass after glass, glass after glass. He wants more, 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 more. So thirsty, especially in the hot sun. So one should be that kind of, one should have that kind of eagerness to hear Krishna Katha. So in that way. Only for that person, there will be removal of hunger and thirst of the gross body, fear, lament is illusion of the subtle body. So it is like that. Where will bhakti take place? It takes place where there are devotees with hearts eager to hear about the Lord. Just as those attached to the house are eager for engaging in household activities. So people in the material world are eager to increase their material status quo. They are eager to hear about that. So devotees should be eager to hear about Krishna. Now there is next question. The time for when Narada Muni said that one should be eager to hear and discuss Krishna Katha. Then Pracinabarhi is saying that the time for discussions about the Lord, hearing about the Lord have already passed. I have become old already. I should have heard from childhood. The time is the time which is meant for hearing already gone. What great misfortune. Now the time for chanting the Lord's glories has arrived. Now I am in the fag end of life. I am supposed to discuss. I am supposed to meditate upon. अभी तक मैं कुछ सुना नहीं. I am so unfortunate. I have wasted my time in oversleeping, in performing disgusting daily rituals. How can I quickly go to the assembly of devotees? What face do I have to go to the assembly of devotees? I never showed any interest in them. Where there are such devotees speaking about the Lord takes place, what are the rules to go to their association? So like that, he is expressing his disgust that till now I never took the association of devotees. So I am the most unfortunate person. So Mukarita means topics which accept the mouth, or topics which reside at all times in the mouth of those devotees. San Mukaritam. The devotee's mouth is called San Mukaritam. Their mouth constantly emitting Krishna Katha, the nectar of Krishna Katha. In that assembly of great devotees, the great rivers of nectar of topics of the Lord, which are prasada of the great devotees, having been tasted by them, and which are continuously present in the mouths of the great devotees, flow in all directions. So here, kindly just I remembered one connection. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Mayavada Bhashashunla Hoye Sarvanash. One should never hear Bhagavatam from the Mayavadas because their speaking of Bhagavad Gita is like the milk tasted by the serpent. It is poisonous. Here the devotees Krishna Katha is called as Prasada. It is coming out of the mouth of devotees, so it is called as Mahaprasad. In that way. Those who drink those rivers, indicating great thirst because of the intense taste, not being able to neglect even a drop of those rivers, indicating intense attraction, thinking that it is never enough, it is not sufficient, with ears made sturdy to prevent the nectar from flowing out, cannot be touched by hunger and thirst, which belongs to gross body, fear, lamentation, and illusion, which belongs to the subtle body. So one becomes freed from the pangs of the gross body as well as the set of the subtle body, so that one can focus on one's bhakti. So one will be situated in the bhava and prema platform. So this is what happens in the association of pure devotees. They do not have a desire for eating. So the devotees who are there eager to speak, who are eager to hear, they think like this. They do not have a desire for eating, thinking, where is my food today? Since they have been fed by the devotees, they are fed by the Krishna Katha. They are satisfied with the Krishna Katha. They are fearless since they are not attached to anything in this material world. They become attached to Supreme Lord. When they understand that when Lord is with us, everything is with us. So in that kind of understanding they come to. And there is one verse in 4th canto 9th chapter, which Dhruva Maharaja said, same thing. What should be the mentality of a progressing devotee? Tena smarantya titaram priyamisha martyam echanyada sutasuhrud gruhavitta dara etvabjanaba bhavadiya padara vinda saugandhya luddha hridayeshu kruta prasanga. O Lord with a lotus navel, those who have taken association with those whose hearts have smelled the fragrance of your lotus feet do not care for this very dear material body. Such kind of devotees who tasted the fragrance of Lord's lotus feet, that means Krishna Katha, they will not show any favoritism towards the material body or the things accompanying the material body, such as sons, friends, house, wealth, and wife. From the material platform, not from the spiritual platform. If all the devotees, all the family members are devotees, that attachment towards family members is devotees attachment. But on the bodily platform, that is neglected, negated. They have no lamentation or illusion because they have forgotten possessiveness. They don't have any possessiveness that I am this, these are mine. Instead, they say that I am Krishna's and they are also Krishna's, and Krishna will take care. So in that way. So that's how Narada Muni is stating in these two verses that what happens having come to the association of great devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, like in this connection now, means at least I could understand like how Raghunathas Goswami could live without, anything, just buttermilk, cup of buttermilk in 3 days, or how Dhruva Maharaj could live without just on the breath or stopping the breath also, because they are not actually in the gross body platform level. That is
Yes, yes. They are completely absorbed in Krishna, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, especially Smaranam. So the gross body and subtle body does not torment them.
yeah. So this happens only at the level of bhava or prema, na Prabhuji?
Yeah, it happens completely at the level of bhava and prema, but it already manifests from Bhajanakri onwards. Slowly, slowly, thoda manifest hoga.
Okay.
It becomes full at the bhava level.
Hmm. Thank you.
Correct.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Matish.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask one question that uh, always this is, being emphasized that one should associate with the devotees.
Hmm.
But this association also is depending on your Sukruti. Now, not everybody is fortunate enough to have association. So I just was thinking, what ratio of Sukruti we require to have association?
See, no, there should be no question of Sukruti, etc. Sukruti is only talked in terms of the first contact with the devotee.
Okay.
So Sukruti helps us come in touch with the devotees. After coming in touch with devotees, it's up to us to take their association seriously. Now there is no Sukruti kind of thing. अभी हो गया एक बार आ गया Sukruti का काम खत्म हो गया.
But Prabhuji, situation never, not always permit you to associate with devotees.
What do you mean by associate with devotees?
To be physically present with the devotees rather than hearing them. It means
See,
for me,
that is true. That is there. So even as per the time plus circumstances,
yeah.
so associating with devotee, no need to take in terms of Vapu only, but it can be Vani also. See, we can have association with pure devotees either through their Vani, which is coming from their Vapu, which is in front of us, or their Vani, which is recorded in the electronic media, or their Vani, which is recorded in the form of books.
But
So
I
different ways is there, but that doesn't mean that okay, you need to have constantly everyday association. It won't be possible. Whenever it is available, one should show that eagerness. That one should be eager to drink without leaving aside a drop of it. So it's like that.
yeah, because I was just thinking that if somebody or if I talk about myself also, if I'm not able to come to the temple, not associating with the devotees, am I
Uh,
making a whole excuse or is it actually the situation which is not,
no,
allowed?
not like that. Normally not able to come, that is fine, no issue. That time you have many other ways of doing things. You can read the books, you can hear some recording classes, you can discuss with some devotees over phone or something like that. But when something is really happening, something interesting, like as it is mentioned this verse. So when some Prabhupada disciples have come to temple, that time we should make an attempt to come and take the association seriously. That will happen once in a while. That will not happen every now and then. So when that opportunity is there, we should make ourselves available, not to miss that. Other times we can take association in the form of all other possible ways. So in
Mhm.
that way, we should be able to do all homely duties and other things also.
Okay.
I mean, this is my understanding.
Yeah, even I was thinking the same that
Yeah.
actually books and
Because right now we cannot act on the that platform of Goswami Sandal. That is too high for us. We are not on that level. So whatever we could do, we should do.
Mhm.
And the rate should increase.
Okay, Roger. Thank
Yeah.
you.
As our Pracinabarhi is saying that my time for hearing already over. So we should also feel like that. Our time for hearing already over. Now it is time for discussing. We should be on the other party, giving party, not in the receiving party. So, but better late than never. Let us receive first, then we can start giving. So like that.
I believe receiving will not even end till the end of the life. बहुत
See
कुछ
that
receive.
see giving that doesn't mean that receiving. See, I once in one of our brahmacharya classes we were discussing what do you mean by Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam. So literally, what do you understand? Shravanam means what?
Hearing, basically.
Okay, hearing means the function of the ears. Kirtanam means
Singing the glories of the Lord, speaking, chanting.
then what?
I don't know.
So Shravanam is just hearing, only one activity.
Mhm.
Kirtanam is speaking out either softly or loudly and hearing as well.
That, yeah, obvious.
Yes
Yeah.
or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
See. For example, in the morning hours when we are attending morning program, there are many things are involved. In the temple, for example, in the Mangalarti also, the one who is leading the kirtan, he leads, then we hear, then immediately we repeat. When he is leading, we hear. When we are repeating, we just repeat or we also hear what we repeat.
Yeah, we hear.
Huh? So both the things are happening. Shravanam is happening, Kirtan is also happening. Afterwards, we chant, we sit and do japa. When we are doing japa, we simply make some sounds through lips, or we also hear, try to make an endeavor to hear what we are saying out.
No, we hear.
So Shravanam happening and Kirtanam happening and Shravanam also happening.
Yes.
One step ahead. What do you mean by Smaranam?
Remembering.
That's all.
What it means then?
Smaranam means Smaranam plus Kirtanam plus Shravanam. That will have all the three.
So are you saying that at every stage, the previous activities keep included in the next step? Is that?
Yes, yes, yes. That's right.
Okay.
See, just think about Smarana means meditating upon some pastime.
Yeah.
So what exactly you are doing? You are recollecting from the memory. You must have heard that pastime sometime back. You are recollecting it. Recollection is like Smaranam. That recollection is like as good as you are reading it. In the memory slate is written somewhere. You are reading it. So when you read it, what you are doing Kirtanam. Reading is Kirtanam. But whatever you read, you also hear. You may not speak loudly, but the reading is also hearing. Like just like when we read book, we don't make sound. But the reading is both Shravanam and Kirtanam. So when we are reading from book, it is Shravanam and Kirtanam. When we are reading from mind, it is Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. All the three. So it's like that.
Okay.
So the Shravanam is going always. There is no second we are not without Shravanam in our entire life. Shravanam is the basic thing as well as the all accompanying thing. It is there everywhere. उसके बिना कुछ होता नहीं.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. I mean, some work is required for this because you know what happens sometimes in the name of not associating with the devotees, we tend to do certain activities which is not actually in line with devotional activities. So I was just thinking, but yeah, what you just said makes sense. Thank you.
So either we are directly hearing from devotees, or hearing from a book, or hearing by chanting japa, or hearing from our mind. All are Shravanam only. Something we should be doing.
And you also said that whenever possible, we should try to associate, right?
No, whenever that opportunity is there. Like last week we had classes from His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, as well His Holiness Chandragopal Swami Maharaj. So next week we'll have the good fortune of having the association of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Like that, whenever there is a good opportunity, we should not miss. That shows our eagerness to.
Yeah, but in this case also, if I tell you that I personally feel that instead of coming to the temple, I would prefer sitting at home and hear it, because here there will not be somebody who would distract me, or you know, when you sit around so many devotees, you miss out on something, you know.
I don't have anything to say about it, that you have to figure out. So we'll go ahead. एतैरुपद्रुतो नित्यं जीवलोका स्वभावजै न करोति हरेर्नूनं कथामृता निदौरतिम्.
Because the condition. Continue, Prabhuji.
Because the conditioned soul is always disturbed by the bodily necessities such as hunger and thirst, he has very little time to cultivate attachment to hearing the nectarian words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Those who are constantly disturbed by habitual hunger, thirst, fear, lamentation, and illusion can never develop attraction for the ocean of nectar of topics concerning the Lord. If we are attracted to hunger, thirst, lamentation, fear, and illusion, we will not be attracted to Krishna Katha. Simple. There are three things. The difficulties caused by the gross body, difficulties caused by subtle body, and Krishna Katha. So we need to choose one of the three. So which one to choose is in our hands. So it's like that. Bhakti will rarely blossom. Bhakti will rarely blossom in those who are afflicted by hunger, thirst, and fear, because they lack absorption in the rasa caused by habitual lack of enthusiasm for thinking about the topics of the Lord due to lack of devotees association. When we associate devotees who are eager to hear, our desire to hear increase. If we associate with people who are not at all eager to hear, our eagerness to hear about Krishna Katha also decreases. It is like contagious thing. So if you are always talking about hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, fear, we go in that direction only. So we should be careful about all these things. So that is what is indicated by Narada here. There is one verse comes in the 10th canto, which Lord Brahma tells. Sorry, I have not put the verse number, but this is the verse spoken by Lord Brahma in the prayers after Brahma Viman Lila. Radayastena tavat kara gruham gruham tavan mohongri nigado yavat Krishna nate jana. Till the time we don't become Krishna jana, there are three categories of people who are always tormenting us. Who are they? Ragadayastena. Our desires are like the thieves. They continuously steal away the most valuable possession of ours. What is the most valuable possession that we have? Time. Prabhuji says time. And what else? Resources.
Krishna Prem, devotion.
No. Not Krishna Prem.
Lifespan.
Yeah. The time or lifespan or the resources that we have with us, they'll be used in the fulfillment of our material desires. The money that we have, the facility that we have, all those things are used in the fulfillment of our material desires only. And then Kara Griham Gruham. Our home becomes Karagar, prison house. And Mohongri Nigado. Our Moha, illusion, acts like the shackles. They do not allow us to get out of the home. So in that way. So all these things will bind us not to become Krishna Jana. If we become Krishna Jana, they will not bind us or they will not have any influence upon us. There will be no place for material desires. The home becomes Vaikunta instead of remaining Karagraha, and there will be no moha, no conception of I am this, these are like this, like this. So that is what Lord Brahma says in the 10th canto. Then our Pracinabarhi says that, but don't the scriptures glorify the path of jnana by telling that the knower of Atma surpasses all the lamentation? अब तो बोल रहे शोक मोह भय बहुत बोल रहे, but a jnani also becomes freed from shoka moha bhaya. What is the use of bhakti for the jnanis? I want to become jnani. Why should I become bhakta? Let me have Atma Tattva and then become jnani. That is enough for me. I can become freed from the shoka moha bhaya. For that, Narada Muni gives a very powerful answer. Is a humiliating answer. These three verses tell us that. Prajapati Pati Sakshat Bhagavan Girisho Manu Dakshadaya Prajadyaksha Naishtika Shanakadaya Marichir Atri Angirasau Pulasya Pulaha Krato Bhrugur Vasishta Iti Yete Madanta Brahmavadina Adyapi patayas tapo vidya samadhibhi pashyantopi na pashyanti pashyantam parameshwaram.
The most powerful Lord Brahma, the father of all progenitors, Lord Shiva, Manu, Daksha, and other rulers of humankind, the four saintly first-class brahmacharis headed by Sanak and Sanatan, the great sages Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrugu, and Vasistha, and my humble self, Narada, are all stalwart Brahmanas who can speak authoritatively on Vedic literature. We are very powerful because of austerities, meditation, and education. Nonetheless, even after inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom we always see, we do not know perfectly about him.
Yeah, he's telling that you are thinking that the Jnanis will know about the Lord. Jnana will surpass them from all the material entanglement. It is not sufficient. I am the example. And like me, there are so many people who are such examples. Jnana does not give us complete pacification. Jnana does not give us the complete understanding of the Supreme Lord. Like that, Narada Muni says. The omniscient Brahma, Bhagavan, Prajapati Pati Sakshad, the father of all progenitors. Here Brahma is called as the omniscient Bhagavan Brahma, the father of all the Prajapatis. Lord Shiva and Manu. Manu means Swayambhuva Manu. Daksha and the other rulers of the humankind. The four Kumaras, Marichi, Attari, Angira, Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrugu, Vasishta, and I as well, is including Madanta. I am also. Though we know the Vedas, you are talking about Jnana, Jnana, Jnana. We are all Jnanis. We have read Vedas, we have studied Vedas, we have understood the Vedas, and skillful at speaking the Vedas. We are all Vachaspataya. We are all great speakers of the Vedas. We are not only simply readers of the Vedas, but we are all great speakers of the Vedas also. And though even today we reflect upon the Supreme Lord by performing austerity, knowledge, concentration, tapo, vidya, samadhi, but we cannot see the Lord who sees everything. You think that the jnana will give us a complete understanding of the Supreme Lord? That is not at all possible. You are talking about jnanis. Is there any jnani superior than these people? Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Daksha Prajapati, and all the great Prajapatis such as Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrugu, Vasishta, Angira, Bhrugu, etc. etc. Are there any personalities more than this? Are there any personalities who know Vedas more than these people? And are there any personalities who are expert in performing tapasya and meditation, etc. etc. than these people? No one. But still they don't know about the Lord completely. Jnana does not reveal the Lord. Only Bhakti reveals the Lord. So in that way, Narada Muni is discouraging Pracinabarhi not to take shelter of Jnana. Shruti says, Tarati Shokam Atmavit. The knower of Atma surpasses lamentation. The Vedas say that he who knows Atma does not affected by the lamentation, anger, thirst, lamentation, shoka, moha, bhaya and all. Then what is the use of bhakti for the jnanis? Shruti Shastras are saying that knower of Atma overcomes all the lamentation. And why are you telling that bhakti, bhakti, bhakti? Bhakti ka avashyakta kya? But Narada Muni replies that jnanis never know the Lord completely. This is expressed by Kaumatika Naya in 4 verses. We do not know the Lord, what to speak of others. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Daksha, and all other sons of Brahma. There is no one superior to them. They don't know the Lord completely. Then what to speak of so-called jnanis about whom we are speaking? How will they know the Lord?
We are also devotees. Somebody Lord Shiva, Lord.
Wait, what Narada Muni is trying to say like that? Let us hear Narada Muni. Bhagavan means knowing everything. I criticize not only these persons, by myself also. I speak about myself also. I am also a jnani like them, but I also don't know about the Lord completely. We try to see him by performing austerity, by studying the Vedas, and by executing meditation, etc. etc. But we do not use bhakti. Narada is saying that we don't use bhakti so much to the extent that we use tapasya, vairagya, and meditation, samadhi, etc. etc. Though, now whatever question you said, na? Though all these people are all famous as devotees, they express themselves as very fallen without bhakti. A devotee never says, I am a devotee. A devotee never says, I know the Lord completely. If somebody says that I know the Lord completely, that means he's cheating. If somebody says that I am devotee, he is cheating. Devotee will never say that he is a devotee. Narada is saying, they are setting an example. Reality nahi. When when one understands the greatness of the Supreme Lord, that ever increasing greatness of Supreme Lord, devotee understands. I cannot understand him. मैं जितना भी समझो वो कम ही पड़ रहा है.
Right, that you cannot understand the Supreme Lord, but why is calling yourself as a devotee?
That is the nature of Uttama Bhakta, that's all. That is the quality of the Uttama Bhakta. In the material world, we are trying to be devotees. We are practicing devotees, something like that. He is glorifying with 1,000 monks from the beginning of the creation. He is not able to come to an end. The time he comes to an end, there is pralaya.
Say that he is unlimited, but a devotee calling himself not a devotee as a devotee. God is unlimited, is okay. On the devotee side, why does he say that I am not a devotee? When he is a devotee.
Okay.
आप devotee है कि नहीं? Are you a devotee or not?
I am trying to become a devotee. I am not a devotee.
पैरामीटर फिट नहीं होता है.
What is the parameter?
There is no end to it. You mean to say I am a devotee means there is no shoka, moha, lopa, mada, maasa, masara, कुछ नहीं क्या मेरे अंदर? कामा कोदा कुछ है नहीं क्या?
That is the definition of God.
Not devotion. That not the complete definition. That is one of the parameters. Like there are so many things are there. A devotee will never say the devotee. And if we say if I say I'm a devotee, that is simply bragging like a frog or donkey.
It's all work in progress.
So it's like that. Though they are all actually all famous as devotees, they express themselves as very fallen without bhakti. Our acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Tagore and the previous acharya, they say that I am lower than the insect in the stool. If one comes close to me, they will be contaminated by my darshan. Like that they say. Yeah, they write in their bhajans. So sometimes people when they read that, they are all acharyas, why they have to say like this? Are they simply faking it? Just for the sake of saying something, they are saying it like that? We may say like that for the sake of saying. We say that I am the most fallen like that. We only say because it is like culture. We are living in the so-called culture, we say. But they are not saying just for the sake of saying. They actually feel like that. Uttama Bhakta always feels that in the rest of the world, everyone is superior than me. They never feel that I am of a so-called standard devotee. They feel themselves at the lowest among all, and everyone else is in the top above him. That's how. It's not kachra. That is the nature of the devotee. Devotee should be like that. What do you mean by amanana manadena? Simple principle. What do you mean by amanana manadena?
You offer respect to everybody. You don't expect.
रुक गया.
ऐसा नहीं होता है ना. Because you always see there are different varieties of living entities. How can you give respect to the same? A sadhu is a different person and a low beggar.
Forget about that. What is the second sentence? What is the second sentence? What is the second sentence? Amanina manadena. Amanina means?
Without expecting respect.
What do you mean by that?
Don't expect respect from others.
What do you mean by that? What is the understanding of that? Simple. When we don't expect respect, when we see ourselves lower, others are higher. For example, if I am studying in the college, I am studying in the second year, BTech or whatever. I see the professors as the most respectable people. As soon as I see them, I offer respects. When I see seniors also, I say, hello, hi, whatever, according to the college custom. When some junior comes, do I expect the junior should say me hi, hello? Or I will say hi, hello to him?
He will say hi.
I'm asking, what is my thought process? Do I expect that junior should respect me? Or, that is the problem. That is the material culture. In the spiritual culture, I am the junior, I am the first day in the college. Though I may be in the last year, last day, I should feel that I am the first day in the college. Everyone else is superior to me. I will respect everyone. That is Bhakti culture. That is where we are all stuck up. We always want to. See, Prabhuji, don't mix everything. We are talking in the midst of devotees. This culture don't apply in the outside world. If you apply the outside world, you are the mad person number one. वहां पे छोड़ दो. Within devotee circle, you should exhibit this. And one day one should be able to exhibit this everywhere.
Practice this comparative mentality. We should not compare.
One day one should practice this everywhere. Today we may not be practical. That is the alternate point.
Practice slowly will help us. Practice
as long as we are identified with the body, we always expect respect. When we come out of the body identification, then we can implement that point. अमानिना. जब तक हम सोचते हैं मैं सीनियर हूँ, मैं सेकंड ईयर में हूँ, मैं दिस दैट, बस गान हो गया, खलास, गेम खलास. Don't apply our normal society logic here. Bhakti is entirely 180 degrees opposite. What happens in the outside world, we should do exactly in the opposite order in the Bhakti culture. Just he read about Tukaram Maharaj. His life is a perfect example of a Uttama Bhakta. Did he expect any respect? Did he revolted anywhere in time when somebody harmed him, somebody criticized him? Even when his scriptures are thrown in that river, also did not revolt. He simply fasted. It is between him and the Supreme Lord. He did not find fault with anybody around him. Did he? That is devotee. Did Haridas Thakur found fault with that Nawab or the soldiers who are beating him? Haji. Did he? That is Bhakti. I'm sorry. I am speaking, but I myself filled with a lot of arrogance and pride.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, like here it is mentioned that jnanis never know the Lord completely. At the same time, Narada Muni is saying that though in spite of being the exalted bhaktas, the great sages and myself also doesn't know.
He did not say like that. He did not say like that. He said we are all jnanis. The jnanis about whom we are talking, we are the topmost jnanis as per the world norms. But we say them as great devotees. They never say themselves as great devotees. They consider themselves as the Brahmavadis, jnanis.
So
and
why do Bhakta considers himself jnani, Prabhuji?
Simple, a devotee will never consider the devotee. If one considers oneself as a devotee, will not be a devotee.
He may not consider himself a devotee, Prabhuji, but see, when we see jnani or yogi and in that category.
No, not from that point, of course. Okay, go ahead. No problem.
Yeah, what means my confusion is that when we say jnanis or yogis or devotees, so in that categorization we always consider devotee as a better variety, or I will not say higher or lower, but devotee is a better variety. So
Okay.
when Narad Muni is at the that higher platform of bhakti. He may not consider himself as a devotee. But when from that platform, why he consider himself as somewhere at the lower platform of jnana?
Here, Jnani is not the so-called Jnani. They are considering them as Brahmavadis. That means the knowers of the Vedas. Because he's telling now we are expert at performing tapasya, vairagya, and Vedic study, and also
teaching
meditation.
Yeah. So if jnanis here means one who has knowledge of the scriptures and Vedas also. That
Yes. Even they are expert at practicing jnana practices. The
okay.
jnana and Ashtanga yoga practices.
Okay.
A
So
devotee always introduces oneself a step lower than the bhakti.
I am means sorry Prabhuji, I am not that knowledgeable or my intelligence is very low, but
Wait. Please,
no,
please
I'm
give
not
me.
understanding this thing what
No,
you are
no. Wait, Mataji, please. Let me go through the notes, then we'll get understanding. अभी बीच में रोकेगा तो कैसे होगा? थोड़ा some time दो तो मुझे. Let us discuss. Though they are actually all famous devotees from our point of view, but they themselves express as very fallen without bhakti. For example, simple example I give you. When you organize a program, you invite a brahmachari from the temple or some special guest, some well-known speaker. If you ask that well-known speaker, introduce about yourself. In that assembly, all devotees are there. No one is a newcomer. What kind of introduction that the devotee will give about himself? I'm asking you only, Mataji.
That person will say, I'm the servant of the Lord. That's it. He will not glorify own self.
He will not even say servant of the Lord. He will say that I am the most fallen. I don't have any qualification to sit here. Just because somebody ordered me to do service, I am trying to do the service. I need all of your blessings and prayers. But if you are inviting him for a program, if you have to introduce him, how do you introduce him?
Now we first introduce the material qualifications and the post whatever
Not
he
like
has.
that. You glorify him as the topmost devotee.
Yeah.
You glorify him as the senior devotee and one of the best devotees. At least you say, whether we may feel or not, but we say that he is much superior to me. He is a great devotee than me. Verbally we say. We should also feel like that when we introduce. And it is our great fortune to have him today with us. So let us take this opportunity by our oral deception without missing even a single word like that. We generally say like that.
Yeah.
Even though we may feel or we may not feel, but we say like that. So when we say about some devotee, we talk about him as the best of all devotees. But when he speaks about himself, he speaks about himself as the lowest of all the devotees in that assembly. That is the etiquette. Simple. So there is no, it is not a science, it's a rocket science. Then if the question is that, okay, if you are not devotee, who are you? I'm a jnani. Because he cannot say everything false also. Because he studied Vedas, he knows the Vedas, he can speak from the Vedas. So I'm the student of Vedas. I can speak Vedas. So he will say like that. So there is nothing wrong in that. That's why he is introducing himself as Brahmavadi here. And he's telling his father and brothers, everyone as Brahmavadis. Like Brahma is father, Lord Shiva is brother, Kumaras also his brothers, all the other Prajapatis also his brothers only. They are all one same family only. So he has that, what you can say, brother and father only. Na? He had that leverage to say them also, they are also jnanis. They are also not devotees. It's not the way. So it's like that.
Prabhuji, can we infer from this that the study of the scriptures, even in the depth, will not help one to understand the Lord completely?
See, Mataji, see, don't come to conclusion. ये etiquette बात करते हैं हम we are discussing the etiquette. We are not giving conclusions. You mean to say that Narada is not a devotee or he does not know about the Lord or what?
No, I'm not saying
Then
that.
why are you coming to that conclusion?
No, because here it is mentioned na, that all the expert teaching.
That is etiquette. Itna simple cheez hai. The one who knows Bhagavatam will never say that he knows Bhagavatam. वो तो simple etiquette है. इतना confusion क्यों आप लोग?
Because यहाँ पे बात knowing the Lord through ज्ञान और भक्ति और scripture वैसे बात चल रही. That is why ये point आया.
Okay, wait for some time. We will discuss.
Okay.
We are all expert at teaching the meaning of the scriptures to others. Narada is saying that Brahma, Shiva, four Kumaras, and all the Prajapatis and myself, we are all expert at teaching the meaning of scriptures to others. But we do not know the actual meaning of the scriptures since we do not have bhakti. Bhagavad Gita 15:15. What is the actual meaning of the Vedas?
Vedasya sarvairahmeva vedu.
He who knows the Vedas is supposed to know Krishna. And they are telling we know the Vedas, but we don't know Krishna because we don't know Bhakti. Because Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Yavan yachasma tattva. Only by Bhakti one knows the Supreme Lord. Without Bhakti, only with Jnana and Yoga one knows Paramatma and Brahman. That's all. That's why they are calling themselves the Brahmavadis. We the knowers of Brahman and Paramatma. Because we don't know Bhagavan, though we have studied Vedas, we are not devotees. This is a fine etiquette. That's all simple. There is nothing complex thing in this. Here, a devotee is speaking about himself to another sadhaka. He cannot boast about himself. It is etiquette thing. You don't have to draw conclusions on this.
Prabhuji, here like Pracinabarhi is involved more in the karma kandi fruitive activities, right? And
Okay.
Narad Muni is trying to stress upon his mind the importance of bhakti rather than engaging in the fruitive activity.
Okay.
So in that scenario, one will always glorify bhakti or pose himself as a bhakta that see.
No, one should glorify bhakti but not pose oneself as bhakta. Posing oneself is the arrogance. One should glorify bhakti and one should speak about oneself in a humble manner. One should never say, I am a devotee. I am such a great devotee. Not like that. When it comes to oneself, one should always speak low about oneself. When it comes to bhakti, one should always glorify bhakti. One should always glorify Bhagavan.
I will give you a small example. If I'm taking time of the class, please tell me. I will stop. Like suppose we go to somebody, some people's house or something where we try to glorify bhakti. Oh, see, this path is so nice. We have got such and such things. Since we are following this path, you also follow. Like that we tell to others, no? So they feel so that why we tell our experience, not because to glorify ourselves.
Are we glorifying bhakti? Or are we glorifying ourselves?
We are glorifying bhakti, but
No.
we tell that yes, we are also following the path, so you also follow. See, this is
No,
so
we should not
nice.
speak about ourselves. We should give the examples of other devotees. When we introduce bhakti to our near and dear friends, we should always give the examples of other devotees. We should never give our own example. We should act in such a way that they should see us an example, but we should never speak ourselves as an example. I am a devotee, I'm doing like this because of this. We should not speak about ourselves. Instead, we should give examples of others as great devotees. So that is the proper etiquette.
Yeah. If we say I'm a devotee, somewhere something is gone and wrong, people will point at you, and the whole process of devotion will be.
Yeah, it's
So
it's like that.
That way, it's better not to say.
I don't know. This is 1 paisa vartha for my understanding. I'm sorry. I may be wrong. You please consult some of senior devotees.
No,
So they will give
you are
right
right
understanding.
from one point of view you are saying, and I was saying from other point. Like suppose somebody is known to me.
See, Mataji, it's okay. See, from practical point of view, you can do not a problem. See, we are not discussing about minute. See, kindly understand that our Bhagavatam study is not about our day-to-day dealings. It is Bhagavatam established the ideal standards. In day-to-day dealings, we may have to downstream and do the needful. So don't get into day-to-day dealings.
Okay.
Your bath is happening at the Narada Muni level. Usko हमारा level पे लेके आने का नहीं. So we have, I mean, we have that expectation that we want to be glorified as devotees. When we go for a program, somebody does not introduce properly, we see that these people does not know the etiquette also. They did not introduce me properly. Next time I will not come only. We are still on the platform. So there is nothing wrong introducing ourselves as devotees. Ideal culture is we should give examples of others, but in a practical dealings, no problem. We can give our example to inspire them. That is not an issue. See, try not to connect with our day-to-day activities. What we are discussing here. It is a shastra. Let us study the shastra. How to adopt it in our day-to-day dealings? We need to bridge it to what is there in shastra, what is required. We need to bring it in harmony. So for the time being, keep that aside. Our day-to-day dealings. Let us focus on the discussion what is happening between two great personalities. So they try to follow the etiquette. Here, Narada Muni, what kind of etiquette is establishing? He is the topmost devotee, there is no doubt. But he himself is saying that I am a Brahmavadi like my father, my brothers, etc. We are the knowers of, we are expert at speaking Shastra. We can talk about Brahman Paramatma elaborately, but we cannot talk about Bhakti as a Bhagavan because we don't have any Bhakti. We never approached Vedas with Bhakti. Because Bhakti Amam Abhijanati, only by Bhakti we can understand about Bhagavan. Without Bhakti we cannot understand Bhagavan. And more than that, he says that he even today, see, आज तक 50 वर्ष कंप्लीट हो गया, मेरा पिताजी का, मेरा और मेरा भाई का भी 50 साल हो गया. Still we are trying to study the Vedas, teach the Vedas. Still we have not understood Bhagavan properly. 50 साल में. He even today indicates that they are expert at austerities, knowledge and meditation. Even today also we are practicing tapasya, vairagya and meditation, etc. We are not started bhakti. That's why we could not understand Bhagavan properly. They reflect on the Lord, but do not see him. This means they do not know him. We only read about the Lord here and there, but we don't know who the Lord is because we never saw him. We do not have that qualification to see him also. Like that it says. Atmano avasito vasta mahima kavinadina samvatsara sahasrante diya yoga vipakaya. You hear Maitreya is saying in the third canto, he says that, oh Vidura, even Brahma did not comprehend the powers of the Lord for 1,000 years by mature yoga. Brahma performed tapasya for 1,000 years. Still, he had not come to an end of the understanding of the Supreme Lord. Not even by intense knowledge can one gain complete knowledge of the Lord, since it is difficult even for Brahma to understand the Lord, since they were inconceivable and infinite. The Lord's powers are inconceivable, and Lord is infinite, is Ananta. No one can come to the complete understanding of the Supreme Lord. Even in the second canto, 6th chapter, one of the verses, Lord Brahma says that we do not know anything about the Lord in the spiritual world. What do we know is all about whenever the Lord appears in the material world, whatever pastimes he performed, somehow or other we saw. Somehow or other they are recorded in the Vedic literatures. That much only we know. That much only we can talk about. Having said that, in the 7th chapter, he talks about the pastimes of the various avatars briefly. All the pastimes are mentioned in the 7th chapter. That's Brahma is saying. We do not know anything about the Lord in the spiritual world. So, then this is second canto, 6th chapter.
Third canto.
Which one?
That Virinchi, that they film. I don't know the glories of the Lord. How can I? Brahma says.
That is the second canto. Second canto, 6th chapter.
Third also once it comes.
Maybe there. I don't remember. Third canto, 9th chapter prayers are there. Here also you might have said. See, this is one line from the Shruti only. It says that Yasya matam tasya matam. Matam yasya na vedasa. Yasya amatam tasya matam. See the Sanskrit, itna beautiful to read. The Lord is known to he who does not think the Lord is limited. So basically, Yasya amatam tasya matam means those who say, I don't know the Lord, they actually know the Lord. And then Matam Yasya Na Vedasa. Those who say that I know the Lord, Na Veda, they never know the Lord. This is a scriptural understanding. The Lord is known to he who does not think the Lord is limited. Those who think that Lord is unlimited, they only know the Lord. And I don't know that unlimited Lord. But he who thinks the Lord is limited does not know the Lord. This is Shastric understanding. And Narada Muni and the great personalities like Narada Muni, they follow this exactly as it is. When they say they don't know the Lord, that means they know the Lord. When somebody says that I know the Lord, that means they don't know the Lord. When somebody says I am not the devotee, they are devotee. When somebody says I am the devotee, yes, Prabhu, I am not the devotee. I'm simply boasting or bragging. So it's like that. But this is a culture should be practiced in the midst of the devotees. It cannot be practiced in the midst of outside people. When we go to outside people, we should actually speak about us. So I'm a devotee, I'm practicing devotee for 10 years, 15 years, like that. Then only they will listen. Otherwise, they will listen. If you start displaying humility in front of them, बहुत हो गया जाओ, आपके जरूरत नहीं. So it's like that. If jnanis cannot understand him, then what to speak of those karma kandis like you? So Narada Muni next going to say that we are all jnanis all the way up to my father. We have not understood the Lord. So what to speak of people like you who are after karma kanda? What qualification karma kandis will have to understand the Lord? He basically want to discourage him. He want to encourage him to take to bhakti. So that is the whole idea.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, when you refer to, when you say Shruti says this, Shruti means which exact is, it refers to any of the Vedas or what exactly it refers to?
Shruti says it refers to either Vedas. Generally, they quote from Upanishads.
Okay.
It was from Upanishads. What was that Upanishad? Kena Upanishad. That quotation is from Kena Upanishad.
No, I just wanted to know, like many times people say this is said in the Shrutis. So does it mean it is from Upanishads then?
Generally Upanishads, because the Bhakti and Jnana are competitors. They need, because either because devotees don't have to worry about karma. Karma is already much lower. They never compete with karma. So whenever they quote from Shruti, it is all from Upanishads only. Because the Jnanis establish their tattva based on Upanishads. And the devotees also establish bhakti based on the Upanishads in order to counter the Jnanis. So whenever we hear that Shruti says something, so that is generally from Upanishads. So it's like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shabda Brahmani Dushpare Charanta Uruvistare Mantralingair Vevachinnam Bhajanto Na Viduparam.
Despite the cultivation of Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, and the worship of indifferent demigods by the symptoms of Vedic mantras, demigod worship does not help one understand the supreme powerful personality of Godhead.
Yeah, in the previous purport, if you see, Prabhupada quotes one verse from Brahma's prayers. There Lord Brahma also says that Atapite Deva Padambujadvayam Prasada Leshanu Gruhita Evahi Janati Tattvam Bhagavan Mahimno Nachanya Yokopi Chiran Vichinvam. Without the mercy, causeless mercy of a devotee, we can never ever understand about the Supreme Lord. The understanding is that without bhakti, we can understand the Supreme Lord. But where do you get bhakti from? A devotee. Only when a devotee bestows bhakti upon us, by practicing that bhakti, we can understand the Supreme Lord. Simple. Like straightforward connection. And now Narada Muni further continues. Those who study the Vedas, vast in meaning and words, and who worship the Devatas, distinguished by typical markings and mantras, do not know the Supreme Lord. So now, other section of the Vedas. So in the previous section, he said that we are all expert in speaking about the Vedas. We are Brahmavadis. We speak about Brahman Paramatma. Then what about other experts of the Vedas who are expert at performing yajnas and all karma kanda rituals, etc. So taking that section of the Vedic followers, Narada Muni is telling that those who study the Vedas, the karma kanda section of the Vedas, which are vast in meaning and vast in words, because the karma kanda section of the Vedas is very vast. Then jnana kanda is limited. Bhakti in the Vedas is very, very small. So in that way. And who worship the Devatas distinguished by typical mantras and markings. Idam Indraya Swaha, Idam Nama, Idam Chandraya Swaha, Idam Nama, Idam Varnaya Swaha, Idam Nama, etc. etc. They do not know the Supreme Lord only. So like that Narada Muni says. Therefore, those involved in karma do not know the Lord at all. When the jnanis do not know the Lord at all, then how can the karmis know the Lord? Those who study the Vedas with vast meaning and words, who worship the Devatas distinguished by typical characteristics and mantras, do not know the Lord. Why? Nayamatma parvachanena labhyo na medaya na budaya shrutena. Yamevesha vrunute tena labhyas tasaiva atma vrunute tanum swam. This is from Mundaka Upanishad. It says that the Lord is not attained by contemplation of the Vedic statements, not by meditation, not by abundant hearing of the Vedas. He is attained by Lord's choice. The Lord reveals his form to that person whom he chooses. Ye etamam prapadyante tamstaiva bhajameham. Lord reciprocates accordingly. Those who approach Vedas to understand karma, they will get karma. Those who approach Vedas to understand jnana, they will get jnana. Those who approach Vedas to understand yoga, they will get Veda. But those who approach Vedas to understand bhakti, only they will get bhakti and Bhagavan. Others will not get. It's simple. Yes. Yasya matam tasya matam. Matam yasya na Veda. He who says he does not know the Lord knows him. And he who says he knows the Lord does not know him.
This is from where?
This is from Kena Upanishad. Kena Upanishad 2.3. This came in the Bhagavatam. Previously we read it. I copied from the previous slides. Second canto, we read it. So basically, Narada Muni trying to discourage Pracinabarhi from performing karmakand rituals. And he not even encouraging him to take up to Jnana or Ashtanga Yoga. He want to encourage him to take up to Bhakti. That's why he's glorifying Bhakti. That's the most important thing. The Jnanis and Karmis do not know the Lord. Then who knows the Lord? Pracinabarhi is asking. If Jnanis do not know, Karmis do not know, kisko pata hai? Devotees. Yada yasyanu Bhagavan Atma Bhavita Sajahati Matim Loke Vedecha Parinishtitam.
Also, in verse you said,
Read the translation, later on discuss.
when a person is fully engaged in devotional service, he is favored by the Lord to bestow his causeless mercy. At such a time, the awakened devotee gives up all material activities and ritualistic performance mentioned in the Vedas.
Yes, Prabhu, you are saying something?
Yes, one shloka you put us. Then you said even for Lord reveals to that person to whom Lord chooses. Bhakti Yogi.
In that revelation also there are many levels, na? Muktim dadati karachi smana bhakti yoga. In the fifth canto there are prayers. The Jambudipa prayers, Bharatavarsa prayers come. In that it says that the Lord will easily award Bhukti and Mukti. It is not at all difficult. But Lord does not award Bhakti. Awarding Bhakti means the Lord has to award himself to the devotee. Lord becomes subservient to his devotees. Lord becomes the dancing doll in the hands of devotees. The gopis say that if you dance, I'll give you butter. If you sing, I'll give you butter. He becomes a dancing doll. And Satyabhama said that unless until you get me Parijata tree, I will not speak to you. Immediately the next day only takes her to heaven and then brings Parijata tree. So it's not like a henpecked husband. He is controlled by their love. Lord Krishna and himself becomes the chariot driver of Arjuna. Chariot driver means it is like it's kind of humiliating position because the warrior has no time to tell go right, go left. He kicks in the right leg to go to right, left leg to go to left. So it's like that. So the Lord becomes subservient to them. So it's like that. So Lord does not have that Prema Bhakti easily. When the Lord shows mercy to the devotee gives up thinking of karma kanda and material affairs. When Lord wants to bestow upon us bhakti, the symptom is we lose interest in all mundane affairs. When there is some higher taste, there is no more. You remember last Sunday we discussed. I don't know how many of you are there in the class. When that Jnana and Vairagya, what was the important shloka bhakti? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prajita Janati Ashvaragyam Jnanam Chayet Ahetukam. That Jnana and Vairagya has different meanings at different levels. For a Jnani, when he develops the understanding of Atma and some Brahman and Paramatma, etc., he becomes distressed in, he becomes disinterested in the Swarga happiness. He develops full Vairagya from the Swarga happiness. Now he is interested in Brahmananda. So when a devotee develops the knowledge of Vaikuntha Ananda, he becomes disinterested in Brahman Ananda. Okay. So now he is interested in the Vaikuntha's Aishwarya Ananda. When a devotee becomes knowledgeable about Vrajananda, intimacy, he becomes disinterested in the Vaikuntha Ananda. That kind of Vairagya. So that these two things will change. Same way. When one gets bhakti, one loses all interest in karma and jnana and ashtanga yoga and everything else in this world. So it is like that. The devotees knows the Supreme Lord. Only the devotees know the Supreme Lord, no one else. Then how does one become a devotee? And by what qualities is he recognized that he has become devotee? How can we know that somebody has become devotee and he knows the Lord? Atma Bhavita means of one whose devotion is in the Lord is a devotee. Basically, the devotee prays in his mind, "Oh Lord, please accept this person and deliver him from samsara." When a devotee prays for us, "My dear Lord, this person is very sincere. Please accept him and make him devotee." By the prayer of one devotee, the Lord bestows his mercy upon a newcomer, and that newcomer becomes a devotee gradually. And what is the symptom that he has become devotee? He will lose all interest in karma and jnana, all the way up to Brahmananda. Then what to speak of all other so-called things in this world? So it is like that. When the Lord is merciful to that person, the devotee gives up absorption in mind in thinking of mundane affairs and karma kanda, loke vedecha. So there is no interest in the local affairs. Only one desire. When will I go back, home back to God and become an associate of the Supreme Lord? And when will I be able to serve the Lord in person? No more desires in the material world. No interest in doing something in the material world. Udhar jaane ka bas. That kind of vairagya and that kind of interest one will show. So all this happens by the mercy of a devotee, by the prayer of a devotee. And that Vidura tells to Maitreya in the 3rd canto, 5th chapter. Janasya Krishnad Vimukasya Daivad Adharma Shilasya Sudukitasya Anugrahayena Chiranti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Jayadhanasya. In order to give mercy to the suffering people who are engaged in sinful activities, having come to the material world, who are under the control of karma and who are ignorant of Krishna. Vimukasya Daivad. The auspicious devotees of the Lord move in this world. Anugrahayena charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janadanasa. In order to show compassion to all of us, the great souls that travel on the surface of the earth. What is the reason for Srila Prabhupada to go to West? What is the reason for Srila Bhakti Thakur to travel all over India and establish so many Gaudiya mutts? What is the reason for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to travel North India, South India, here, there? And what is the reason for Goswamis to write so many Vedic literatures? What was the need? They could have eaten and slept happily and lived life bindas. Why were Srila Prabhupada did not have sleepless nights and writing books? That is their compassion upon us, the conditioned souls who are continuously suffered by so many material pangs. So it is like that. When such kind of selfless people pray, Lord takes seriously their prayers. Then we will have some hope. So what we have to do is only the one thing. We need to inspire these devotees to pray for us. Not by force, but by our genuine service attitude, our selfless surrender. When we display our surrender, our service attitude, and they become compassionate upon us. This fellow is very sincere, but unfortunately suffering in a material world. May the Lord please take care of him. When he prays, there is some hope for us. So we have only one thing left for us. We need to serve some sincere, some pure devotee to attract his attention towards us. That's all. Anyway, they are always eager to pray. But if we fall in their eyes, तो हमारा भला हो जाएगा. बस उतना है. Whatever we do, all for this one thing. यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत प्रसाद. बस उसके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं. This is very difficult. We want everyone to please us. Then we try to please others. So it is like that. Hare Krishna, devotees online able to follow. I'm sorry, I'm saying big things today, but these are all I'm simply repeating. I don't have anything. I don't have any realizations.
Thank you very much. Understanding everything.
Therefore, give up this karma kanda, which does not give any substantial results. Tasmat karmasu barishman ajnanadartakarishu marta drishtim krita shrotra sparishishu asprishtavartashu vastushu.
My dear King Barhishman, you should never out of ignorance take to the Vedic rituals or to fruitive activity, which may be pleasing to hear about or which may appear to be the goal of self-interest. You should never take this to be the ultimate goal of life.
O King Pracinabarhi, therefore out of ignorance, never make your ultimate goal of life prescribed karmas. Jo hua ho gaya. But please stop here. Never ever make the purpose of life is to perform sacrifice after sacrifice. Stop. Bahut ho gaya. Which appears to be legitimate goals. You might have heard that the purpose, the life, the main goal of a king is to perform yajna after yajna. You heard, your teachers might have told it, but it is not the right thing. Stop here. Which are pleasing to hear about, but which do not produce substantial results. The Brahmanas might have said that the Vedas are saying that if you perform karma after karma, you will get everlasting enjoyment in the Swarga. You will stay in the Swarga for rest of eternity. It is very easy to hear, very pleasing to hear. And what do you do after going to Swarga? We were discussing yesterday only. We had a class on cosmology. I was talking about the description of the star. Star is basically aerial mansion, like that is created by Kardama Muni for Devahuti. If you remember in the third canto, we discussed what all there. There are nice mountains, waterfalls, gardens, lakes, and then bungalows, ivory coast, golden beds, sitting places, eating places, and everything is like royal opulence. That is what happens. That is what is available in the heaven, in the stars. When somebody leads a pious life or dies in the battlefield, they'll be promoted to Swarga. Then they will be given one star. He is the leader of that star, and he will be served by hundreds of servants, hundreds of thousands of servants. And the dimension of the star is at least half yojana. Half yojana means 6.5 kilometers. It is like nowadays some wealthy people might be having some land outside city. They have nice farmhouse in between. All the wonderful things are there. So once in a while they go on vacation, they spend time there in the weekend. But in the heaven, here they might be having 100 acres of land. But it is like at least 6.5 kilometers wide. The aerial mansion is. That entire area is yours only. When somebody hears that, who will say no? It is very attractive. That's why it is called Amimam Pushpitam Vacha. Pravadanti Avipashita. Pushpitam Vacha. Flowery words. That means the words are so beautiful to look at, so fragrant, so attractive. Who would not like to be there? So it's like that. Yeah, the Vedas promise those things. If you do these exams, you go there. Itna bada place milega aapko. Thousands of people will be serving you for rest of eternity, and you will be enjoying life after life. This concept is there everywhere. In our Vedas, it is there. In other religions also, it is there. Our Vedas say perform karma. Other religions say do something else. By doing that, you will go to heaven, Jannat, and you will be served by many angels. Same concept.
Reason होगा ना ऐसा दिखाया?
Huh?
There must be a reason behind that. No?
Not reason, it is there. It is true. It is real. It is not illusory. According to them, whatever they are saying, that is true. Whatever we are reading here is true.
There is a reason behind it.
No reason, Nabi.
Pious life.
Somebody wants to
Lead a
get
pious
that, somebody wants to get that, can get it.
Yeah, if you do this, you get it. So they will become attracted to do it. So why would you tell when our children that to study properly, you have to become engineer, doctor? Why? What is the need to become engineer, doctor? There are good perspectives, good salary, good position, good name, everything is there. But utna hi simple. Here, our education system, people, our parents, at least in our place, our parents will say, you should go to US. BTech होने के बाद GRE लिखो, TOEFL लिखो, and you will go to US. Because why?
Better destination.
More money. More money.
More comforts.
The parents don't know what happens there. Parents don't know what facilities are there. They only know वहाँ पे salary मिलता है. यहाँ पे ₹1, वहाँ पे $1, यहाँ पे ₹100. 1:100. That's all. Simple. यहाँ पे monthly salary might be 1 lakh. Their monthly salary 10 lakhs. उतना ही simple 1:1:10 ratio calculation.
Cost of living is equal.
Oh, रहने दो. See, problem is not how much you are spending. How much you are earning is important. Where you are and how much you are earning, that is important. उसके पीछे कितना spending और कितना mental torture you are going through, that is another matter. It is a very attractive thing. Who would not want to go there?
आगे बोलना चाहिए ना कि it is temporary.
Sorry?
And they should also write ना कि शीने पूज्य मरते लोग.
That is also said. कब? आप ज्यादा परफॉर्म करें तो ज्यादा दिन रहेगा. वो देखते जब होगा होने दो. अभी तो एंजॉय कर रहे हैं ना. वही इंपॉर्टेंट है. जब होगा तब देखते हैं. Arthakarishu means those karmis which appear to be legitimate goals. Those karmas which appears to be legitimate goals. Artha drishti means taking at the goal of life. Karma, taking karma as the goal of life. Karma is pleasing to hear for excitement and which do not touch the substantial. But Narada Muni says that from Narada Muni's point of view, the heavenly enjoyment is insignificant, good for nothing. See, the Jnanis, when they hear Jnana scripture, they hear that Brahmananda is 1 crore times better than that of Sarga. They'll give up Sarga like a insignificant thing and they aspire for Brahmananda. And when devotees hear that Vaikunthananda is 1 crore times better than the Brahmananda, then they will give up Brahmananda just like insignificant. They aspire for Vaikunthananda. Simple. जिसको जहां पे मन लगता है वहां पे जाते हैं. So in that way. कामस्य न इंद्रिय प्रीतिर लाभो जीवित यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा न अर्थो यच्चेह कर्मभि. This is from first canto second chapter. For one who desires apavarga, for those people who want to go back to Godhead, sense pleasure attained from enjoying the sense object is not the goal of life as long as one lives. If at all one had the desire to go back to Godhead, they should not make sense gratification the goal of life. Especially in Andhra, if at all the students want to enter into IIT in order to crack JEE, previously it is to call with IIT entrance exam. For 2 long years, the students are out of touch with the world. They will be sent to residential colleges.
Kota.
Huh?
Kota is the place.
Maybe here Bombay people might be sent into Kota, but all over our people go to Hyderabad only. In Hyderabad only city outskirts, there are Narayana, Sri Chaitanya, like that. Residential colleges. Morning 5 o'clock they wake them up, students, and evening night 10 तक पढ़ना पड़ेगा बस. उनको बाहर जाने का नहीं, कैंपस छोड़ के. 3 महीने में 1-2 दिन छुट्टी मिलेगा बस बाहर जाने का. ऐसा पढ़ेगा तो ही आईआईटी क्रैक करेंगे. इतना कष्ट क्यों कर रहे हैं? एक बार आईआईटी क्रैक करेगा तो लाइफ सेटल हो गया. Once you enter into IIT BTech, that's all, your life settled. उसके लिए पहले कष्ट तो करना पड़ेगा. For those 2 years, sense gratification thought should not be there in their mind. They should not think of which movie released this weekend. All these things should not be there. In order to deviate that hankering is there, na, that is taken care. Otherwise, if one is not trained like that, it is not possible to crack something. Same way, if somebody wants to go back to Godhead, apavarga, one should not look after sense gratification. The goal of life is inquiry into the highest truth. What is accomplished by prescribed duties is not the goal. Going to Swarga should not be the goal. Going back to Godhead should be the goal for such a person. It is like that. Hare Krishna, devotees are there online. There was some interruption in the internet.
But we can hear you now properly.
Okay. Thank you. So like that, Narada Muni is inspiring. For one who wants to go back to Godhead, karma, jnana, उसको side में रखने का. So we shall have a couple of minutes break, then we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees are there online? Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So then our Pracinabarhi says that, so if bhakti is so important, bhakti is the important teachings of the Vedas, more than karma, more than jnana, etc. It is only by bhakti we can understand the Lord. It is only by bhakti we can go back to Godhead, which bhakti alone awards the greatest of the results. Then why do my priests and sages, learned men, make me do karmas such as sacrifices? Why they never told me how to practice bhakti and all? What is the reason? So like that, he is asking the question to Narada Muni. Swam lokam na viduste vai yatra devo janardana ahur dhumradiyo vedam sakarmakam atadvidaha.
Those who are less intelligent accept the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies as all in all. They do not know that the purpose of the Vedas is to understand one's own home, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead lives. Not being interested in their real home, they are illusioned and search for other homes.
Foolish people do not know the Lord's abode. They do not know about Vaikuntha, where the Lord resides personally. Not knowing the essence of the Vedas, they speak of the Vedas in terms of prescribed karmas alone, without understanding the actual essence of the Vedas. Vedas sarver ahameva vedyo. They simply speak about the superficial flowery words of the Vedas, telling that karma is the essence of the Vedas. Na anyat asti iti vadina. That is the reason why your priests did not talk about Bhagavan or Bhakti. They only talked about karmas. So in that way. They do not know the Vaikuntha, where the Lord resides. They only know the Swarga as their goal. Because having contaminated intelligence, they say that karma is the ultimate message of the Vedas. They do not know the actual meaning of the Vedas. Because they don't know, how can they talk about Vaikuntha? How can they talk about Lord Vishnu? So simple. Because they only heard about from their guru, they heard about Swarga only. And they believed in it. And they are teaching the same thing to you. उसको उतना ही पता है. कालेन नष्टा प्रलये वाणीयं वेद संहिता मयादौ ब्रह्मणे प्रोक्ता धर्मो यस्यां मदात्मका. This is a verse from 11th canto. So no, it is not there in the book. I put from 11th canto. So wherein Lord Krishna speaking to Uddhava, he says that whenever there is pralaya, all the Vedas are destroyed. In the next day, all the Vedas are gone away. In the next day, I personally give all the Vedas to Lord Brahma. Every day morning, it is Lord gives the Vedas to Brahma. By the influence of time, the Vedic knowledge was lost at the time of annihilation. Therefore, when the subsequent creation took place, I spoke to Brahma, the Vedic knowledge, in which Bhakti is the essence. Mayado Brahmane Prokta. I spoke all the Vedas unto Lord Brahma. Dharmo Yasya Madatmaka, in which the most important dharma is Bhakti. Mad Dharma. Atmaka means just like for a person, the most important essential thing is soul. The soul of the Vedas is Mad Dharma. That is Bhakti. So in that way, Lord Krishna states in the our Uddhav Gita. But on the other hand, the people who read Vedas, they are inspired by the flowery words of the Vedas. Yam imam pushpitam vacha pravadanti avipachita vedavada rata partha na anyat asti iti vadina. They actually, what is they strongly promote. There is nothing more than this in the Vedas. Only going to Swarga is the highest essence of the Vedas. That's what all the scriptures talk about, nothing else. Kamatmana Sarga para Janma Karma Falapradam Kriya Vishesha Baulam Bhogeshwarya Gatin Prati. The Vedas only tell us to perform alagala prakarka rituals. For what purpose? Going to Swarga. For what purpose? To get Bhoga and Aishwarya. That's all. That is the purpose of life. Purpose of life is to get more and more prosperity. So in the past, people are after Vedic rituals. Today, people are after going to US. Purpose is same. Whether through this means or through this means, both are same only. So nowadays, people say that we are increasing in our knowledge quotient. We are becoming more and more educated, etc. etc. So those people who read Ramayana, Mahabharata, they may say that these people who are educated people, they are jnanis. Actually, they are not jnanis. Our modern education is equal to karma. In the past, by doing karmic rituals, they would attain. Either they go to Swarga or here also they get heavenly opulences. By studying so much, they are attaining same thing here. उसके अलावा क्या है? ज्यादा पढ़ाई करेगा तो ज्यादा सैलरी मिलेगा, बस उतना ही. Some name, fame, position and salary. उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं. So salary means more enjoyment, more money, more enjoyment. And they also they're going to Swarga means more enjoyment. बस उतना ही. So all our modern education is nothing but karma. Nothing more than that. There is nowhere equal to jnana. Jnana begins with Aham Brahmasmi. When one starts saying Aham Brahmasmi, then one's jnana begins. तब तक जो भी होगा तब कर्म है. प्रश्न. Therefore, give up karma and understand what is the real activity and real knowledge. Kindly understand what one should do. Instead of engaging continuously in performing rituals, try to understand what you are supposed to do. Like that, Narada Muni is telling now. Astirya dharbai prag agray kashne nakshiti mandalam stabdo bruhadvadanmani karma na vaisi yat param tat karma haritosham yat savidyatan materiya.
My dear king, the entire world is covered with a sharp point of Kushagras. And on the strength of this, you have become proud because you have killed various types of animals in sacrifice. Because of your foolishness, you do not know the devotional service is the only way one can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You cannot understand this fact. Your only activity should be those that one please the personality of Godhead. Our education should be such that we can become elevated to Krishna consciousness.
Covering the whole earth with kusha grass, with tips facing east, Pragati. That's why he got the name Pracinabarhi. His actual name is Barishad. You are performing yajna after yajna, the whole surface of the earth is filled with kusha grass. So he became known as Pracinabarhi. Thinking yourself a great sacrificer because of sacrificing so many animals and misbehaving, you do not know the supreme activity that you are supposed to do. You thought performing yajna is the most important activity for a king, but there is something much better than that you have not understood. What is that? That activity which is pleasing the Lord is the real activity. Yat karma aritosham tat parama karma. What is the parama karma? That karma which pleases the Lord is the topmost karma. That activity which is pleases the Lord is the topmost activity. Sam siddhir haritoshnam. We get only perfection when our Lord Hari is pleased by our activity. And then that knowledge by which one concentrates on the Lord is the real knowledge. Sa vidya yaya tadmati. By understanding that knowledge, one is able to meditate upon the Lord. That is the real knowledge. Otherwise, all knowledge of this material world is all so-called knowledge only. Here, Narada Muni gives a perfect definition. What is the parama karma? Yat karma aritosham tat parama karma. That karma which pleases the Supreme Lord is the parama karma. And sa vidya yaya tadmati. That vidya brings us to think of the Lord constantly. That is the real vidya. Simple definitions. Taught by ignorant people, you have become a fool. You think you are a great sacrifice because you have killed so many animals, but you actually had bad conduct. That is actually very bad, killing animals one after the other so much. Then what is the proper activity? Please tell me. Then Narada says, what is pleasing to the Lord is the real activity. Anything else is not called activity. And anything else is not called the real knowledge. Knowing what activity pleases the Lord is the real knowledge. Not knowing what activity pleases the Lord is ignorance. So this is.
What is the relation of that kusha role to the with? Okay.
हाँ, यज्ञ करना है तो मैट के ऊपर बैठना चाहिए. That mat should be made up of kusha grass. मैट के ऊपर बैठने के बिना यज्ञ नहीं कर सकते.
That's sincerity.
हाँ, not only yajna, any devotional activity that we do, we should be always standing on the mat and do it, either standing or sitting. A deity worshipper should never stand or sit on the bare floor. That is a customary ritual. We cannot do standing on the bare floor. That's why you see whenever Aarti happens in the temple, Tulsi Aarti, they put a mat. In the altar, Mangal Aarti, they put a mat. Prabhupada's Aarti, Guru Puja Aarti, they put a mat. Even recently, Yajna happened a couple of weeks back. We had this Gita Yajna. You must have seen before entering. There are so many mats. There is a plate filled with all the grains which are meant for sacrifice. So mat ke upar baith ke bina, kade reh ke bina, one should not do deity worship. That's compulsory.
Made of kusha.
Made of kusha grass. Of course, nowadays we are using cloth mats due to lack of enough kusha matting. But not plastic mats. We should not use plastic mats. Kusha grass is meant for that.
Because that vara is there.
That is also there. But kusha grass generally it is said all species. The kusha grass plant itself is auspicious, and anything connected to Vedic activities, they should be performed with respect to kusha grass mat. Even a yogi, Ashtanga yogi, when he goes to fast, he should sit on the kusha grass mat and perform Ashtanga yoga.
It's different on the regular grass.
For the yogis, it is said that no insects, no snakes or scorpions will crawl onto kusha grass mat. They will be away from the disturbances.
Or tiger skin.
हाँ.
Or tiger skin.
हाँ, उसके ऊपर टाइगर स्किन ये भी चाहिए, उसके ऊपर टाइगर स्किन भी चाहिए. Yes. Showing that. And second thing is that just like we were told, whenever we want to do deity worship, we should take bath and wear fresh clothes. So that is also one of the etiquette. We should stand in the kusha grass. We should not directly touch the surface of the earth and do deity worship. So it is the rule.
Chanting also, chanting or any recitation or chanting. So we should not come in touch with the.
Yeah, even when we do japa also, we should not sit on the bare floor. But because of some practical limitations, but since our temple has wooden floor, so wood is better than it is not the bare floor. हाँ, कुछ तो रखना चाहिए. अच्छा. Because of some practical things we may not follow, but it is better to keep something.
Energy seeps down.
I don't know. Many other things. There could be many things. But why so much emphasis on pleasing the Lord? भगवान को please क्यों करने का? हर activity is that activity which is like the real activity, and knowing about that activity is the real knowledge. तो इतना भगवान को संतुष्ट करने का इतना आप पीछे क्यों पड़े? उसमें क्या है? So like that one may ask. So Narada Muni answers. Harir deha bhrutam atma swayam prakritirishvara tatpada moolam sharanam yata kshemo nunamiha.
Sri Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Super Soul and guide of all living entities who have accepted material bodies within this world. He is the supreme controller of all material activities in material nature. He is also our best friend, and everyone should take shelter at his lotus feet. In doing so, one's life will be auspicious.
Why? If at all we want some benefit to us, It is not for Lord's pleasure. Narada Muni is recommending or any acharyas are recommending. It is for our benefit. We need to do activity in such a way that Lord will be pleased by that. Why? The Supreme Lord is the soul of all beings. Harir Deha Bhurtam Atma is the super soul of everything that exists. Andantarastha Paramanucha Antarastham. Aham Sarvasya Prabho Mattam Sarvam Pravatate. Aham Adiri Devana Marshi Namcha Sarvasha. Bhumirapo Nalo Vayu Kamano Buddhireva Chahankara Miti Amme Binna Prakriti Ashtada. Apareya Mitassu Anna Binna Prakriti Apareya Mitassu Anna Prakriti Middhimya Param Jivabhutam Mahabaho Edam Darita Jagat. It's like that. Dvau imau purusha loke ksharaschaksharameva Keras sarvani bhutani kuta sakshan. Like that. Many places Lord Krishna says that relationship between the different jivas and the matter with respect to him. So he is the soul of all beings. Kshetrajnan chap mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. So in that way. He is the mother and the father of the universe. Aham bija pradapita. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi nivasa sharanam surud. So like that. His feet are the shelter for all beings. Tat padamulam sharanam. His feet are the only hope. Nothing else which can award fearlessness to us. From those feet arises all auspiciousness. From those feet only comes Ganga. That's why every Magamas people go to take bath in Ganga. I'll be very soon coming. Na? This Makar Sankranti only many people take bath in the Prayag. They go and take bath. Every Magamas, Makar Sankranti especially, they take special bath. Wherever water body is there in their local area, they go and take special bath on the Makar Sankranti day. That is the auspicious day they consider. Why? It is coming from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Ganga is the Charanamrut of the Supreme Lord. Foot wash of the Supreme Lord. That's how it becomes auspicious. Otherwise, it's like that. Deha Burda Mahatma means that there is no satisfaction without satisfying him. Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushte. If he is satisfied, the entire world is satisfied. What was that verse? Later on, we'll read about that in the 31st chapter. Narada Muni is Yata Taror Mula Nisheshanena Trupyant Satkanda Bhujobashaka. If you feed water to the root of the tree, the entire tree is satisfied, nourished. And Pranopahara Tatendriyanam. Just like all the pranas and all the senses in the body are revitalized by feeding food to the stomach. Sarvarhanam Achyuteja. Similarly, by worshipping Lord Achyuta, the worship of all the devatas is accomplished because he is the source of everyone. So everything is accomplished. So that's the reason. So there is no satisfaction without satisfying him. He is the mother of the universe and he is the father of the universe. This Lord says in the 14.3.4, chapter 14th. Mama yonir mad brahma tasmin garbham dadameham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata sarva yonishu kaunteya murdaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahad yonir aham bija pradapita. The great expanse called Prakriti is my womb. Prakriti is my womb. In that womb, I place the seed in the form of all jivas. Then the birth of all beings come from that. O descendant of Bharata, O son of Kunti, Prakriti is the mother and I am the father of all forms that arise in the wombs in this world. Prakriti is the mother, I am the father of all living entities that take birth in this material world. Because they are our source, so our existence is meant to please them. That's all. Simple one-on-one equation. That's why there is emphasis on pleasing the Lord. Like that Narada Muni is saying. Then at the end he says, Savai primai priyatamamschastma yato na bhayamanvapi iti veda savai vidwan yo vidwan sa gurur hari.
One who is engaged in devotional service has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul and friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated can become the spiritual master of the world. One who is an actually bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is not different from Krishna.
We get bhakti from the pure devotee, whom we accept as Guru. And that Guru is non-different from Supreme Lord. So like that, he is ending his conversation. Therefore, the truly learned person is the Lord is most beloved, though the Jiva is also dear, because from worshipping the Lord, there is not the least fear of suffering. Generally, the dearmost person for all of us is ourselves. We may say that so and so person, I love him more than myself, but actually it is not. When they causing disturbance to us, we don't want them next to us. Even though sometime back we might have said, okay, they are the most dear person, for that person I will do anything. But ultimately, the dear person for oneself is oneself only. But according to Narada Muni, more than that is Paramatma. Lord is the most beloved, though the Jiva is also dear, because from worshipping the Lord, there is not the least fear or suffering. He who knows the two Atmas is a true learned person. He who knows both Kshetrajna and Paramatma. He who knows the Jivatma and Paramatma is the truly learned person. Kshetrajnayor jnanam iti jnanam matamama. He who knows about the Kshetra and also about the two Kshetrajnas is the real knowledge according to me. Kshetrajnayor, the dual, that is the plural. Kshetrajnayor. Kshetra, individual Kshetrajna, combined common Kshetrajna. He who knows all these three, the really knowledgeable person. Same thing. He who knows the two Atmas is the learned, truly learned person. Iti Veda Savai Vidwan. That person is actually Vidwan. Such a learned person should be considered your Guru. That person who knows the distinction between the matter, spirit, and Paramatma should be accepted as Guru. And he should be worshipped like the Lord. Yo Vidwan Sa Guru and Sa Hari. A person who knows this should be accepted as Guru, and he should be worshipped as Guru, as good as the Supreme Lord. Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. All the Shastra says that Guru is Sakshat Hari. The Lord is dearest, though the Jiva is dear, because from worshipping the Devatas and receiving Swarga, there is only suffering for the Jiva. One may go to Swarga, one may enjoy for some time, but afterwards one has to come back again, go through suffering. But from worshipping the Lord, there is no such kind of suffering or there is no fear of coming back. Yad gatva na nivartante taddama paramamama. Abrahma Bhunal Loka Punar Avartino Arjuna. Even if you go to Brahma Loka also, you have to come back. But Mamupete to Kaunteya Punar Janmana Vidyate. If you come to me, you don't have to take birth again. By worshipping any Devata all the way up to Brahma, having gone to their abodes, one has to come back. There is a fear of coming back again. But those who come to me, there is no fear at all. That's why the worship of the Lord is most important in comparison to worship of all the other Devatas. You should know that he who knows the two Atmas to be distinct and he is learned. He who is that learned person is your Guru. Someone to take shelter of. Don't take shelter of someone who is here and there. Try to examine that this person should know both the Kshetrajnas. Then only that kind of person should be taken as spiritual master. He is the Lord. That means the Guru is to be worshipped by you like the Lord. Such kind of person should be worshipped like the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna tells in Uddhav Gita something about Guru. He says that Acharyam Mam Vijaniyam. My dear Uddhava, understand that Acharya is me. Acharyam Mam. Don't see Acharya non different from me. And then Na or see Acharya as non different from me. Don't see Acharya as different from me. Na avamanyeta karchit. Never ever apman mat karo Guru ke prati, because he is treated like me. Sarva na marte buddhyasu yeta. Never ever develop marte buddhi and develop asuya toward the Guru. Because by looking at people how they are respecting one, the disciples respect Guru. By looking at that scene, never ever develop asuya to Guru, towards Guru. Because what is special of this person? Why is so respected by everyone? Itna kyun? His holiness Chandramouli Swami Maharaj in all his classes. He took Bhagavatam classes also, he took many Brahmachari classes. Every class he was repeating one point. In one interview, one of the journalists was very angry. He constantly was asking that, why are you sitting on the throne, high seat? Why are you traveling in the Rolls Royce car? Why? There is special treatment for you. So that is the question people have. But Krishna says that Na marte buddhya, na asuya. Never ever show marte buddhi upon Guru. Never ever envy Guru. And then, because Sarva Deva Mayo Guru. The Guru is embodies all the devatas within him. All the devatas including Lord Vishnu. Just like cow is embodying all the devatas, Guru also embodies all the devatas. Respecting Guru is equal to the respect of all the devatas all the way up to Lord Vishnu. So it's like that.
What was Prabhupada's answer?
Huh?
Prabhupada's answer to that.
And Prabhupada many answers he gave. So according to the person's understanding, because it's in the West, according to Western culture, he spoke something. And Prabhupada said, what is this? I'm supposed to be given a golden chariot. They have given a plastic car. It's a low class car. Rolls Royce ko Prabhupada said is a low class car. So it's like that. And that person has nothing to say afterwards. So then, subject matter is over. Narada Muni explained the meaning of the story. Then he explained the import of the story. The import of the story is that if you perform Karmakanda rituals like Puranjana, you will also go to hell. Because every pious activity also involves the sin of killing animal. For that you have to go to hell, like that he said. You will suffer in the hell because you also done some punya, go to heaven also. And you will also have to take birth in lower species. Then afterwards, we don't know when will you take birth again. If at all you take birth, by good fortune, if you take birth in the family of religious personalities, and if you marry to Malay Dwaja, that means if you take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, then there is some hope. कब होगा कैसे होगा बहुत टाइम जाएगा उसमें देर भी वेट करने का अभी कुछ करो. Instead of taking shelter of karma or jnana, better take shelter of bhakti. Then our Pracinabarhi decided, thank you very much, my dear Guru. You are my Guru from today onwards. Now I will practice bhakti. But मेरा थोड़ा responsibility बाकी है. That my sons have been to forest. They are performing some austerities. When they come back, I will enthrone my son. Then I will practice 24/7 full bhakti. Seeing that Pracinabarhi might decide to stay back till the Prachetas, his sons, come back so that he could hand over the kingdom to them, Narada speaks another allegorical story of a deer to hasten Pracinabarhi's exit from his palace. Narada is going to speak one more story. अभी उतना दिन रुकने की जरूरत नहीं, अभी बहुत हो गया, अभी निकलो घर से आज. Just like Vidura came and spoke very harshly and made Yudhishthira and Dhritarashtra will leave home. Like that he is also doing now. He is going to do. Narada Uvacha Prashna evam hi sanchinno bhavata purusharshaba atra me vadato guhyam nishamya sunischitam.
The great Saint Narada continued, "O great personality, I have replied properly about all that you have asked me. Now hear another narration that is accepted by saintly person and is very confidential."
Okay. Narada says, O best of men, thus your question has been answered. The question was, I could not understand the meaning of the story which you have said. Please explain the story and explain the purport of the story. So story bhi ho gaya, purport bhi ho gaya. Please hear from me a secret I have ascertained. You have understood purport, but you have not understood the essence of the purport. Now I will tell you the essence of the purport. So in that way. The subject is here concluded. The question has been answered till now. Understanding that the king was considering in his mind that he would have his servants bring his sons home and then hand over the kingdom to them and then depart for the forest. After understanding that one should be delivered by bhakti and renunciation according to the story of Puranjana. Because the story of Puranjana, Malayadvaja, after handing over the kingdom to his 7 sons, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, bas itna hai. Not Sakyam, not Atmi Niradhanam. So then he went to forest, performed austerities. He wanted to follow the same storyline. So, story of Puranjana. Narada then told another story about a deer to make him immediately leave the house. Please hear the secret words of me who speaks to you. Because Malayadvaja was practicing bhakti from childhood. अब तो कभी तक अभी प्रैक्टिस किया नहीं, अभी वेट करके क्या फायदा, और कितना टाइम आप वेस्ट करना चाहते, अभी तुरंत चालू करो भक्ति. So for that effect, he speaks another story. And so when it comes to spiritual life, one should be in hurry to practice. In the 3rd canto, 12th chapter, text 5, text 4 and 5, after the creation of the 4 Kumaras, Lord Brahma told his 4 sons, the Chatush Kumaras, create progeny. Being devoted to Supreme Lord and intent on liberation, they did not agree to do so. The 4 Kumaras not interested in getting married, not interested in begetting children to assist his father. Instead, why? They were not inclined in produce progeny. Because Karma Yoga, producing ignorance, destroys knowledge. The understanding is that the karma is such a thing. Even though a person is having knowledge, but being involved in the karmic rituals, one may lose that knowledge. So, though today our Pracinabarhi got inspired to practice bhakti and take to Vanaprastha order and etc. Anything. If I go away, he will again become busy with again karmakand activities. Then he'll forget everything. Again, I have to come back. Again, I have to tell one more story. Because karmakanda is such a thing that it can make one completely become absorbed in that. It has the potential to suck one completely. One may lose that understanding. So that he will not lose that inclination, what is this? He got little bit spark hai na? Usko he does not want to bujhana chahte. So in order to increase the flame, he tells another story so that he can renounce immediately. So that is understanding. Any questions, devotees from online? Before beginning the next story? No.
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharane mititva raktam sadangri ganasamshu lubdakarnam agre vrikan ashutrupo viganaya yantam prushte mrugam mrugaya lubdaka bana binnam.
My dear king, please search out the deer who is engaged in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. That deer is very much attached to his business and is enjoying the sweet singing of the bumblebees in this garden. just try to understand his position. He is unaware that before him is a tiger who is accustomed to living at the cost of another's flesh. Behind the deer is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with sharp arrows. Thus, the deer's death is imminent.
This is a story. Search out the deer who is grazing on grass, enjoying with his mate in the garden of flowers. His ears are attracted to the songs of the swarms of bees, moving about here and there, wandering about in the garden and eating here and there, without considering the hungry tigers in front of him. Actually, this is hungry wolves, Urkan. Urka is wolf in front of him. So there is a garden. He is actually eating here and there. In the midst of the flowers are there, fragrance is coming, and side by there is a music or sound of bumblebees. Just beside that garden, that side, there are so many wolves who are looking for some flesh, and a hunter behind him, ready to shoot him with arrows. On one side, in front of the deer, there are wolves are waiting for the wolf to go that side, and behind there is a hunter who is looking for the right opportunity to shoot the deer. Examine this deer, which will soon die. If the deer goes that side, the wolves will catch him. If the deer stays there, the hunter will shoot him. There is no, on its own, there is no escape. Examine this deer, which will soon die. Without knowing the calamity awaiting him, he is grazing on the insignificant grass. But the deer is busy eating grass. He does not know that the wolves are waiting for him, or the hunter is also waiting for him. Instead, he is busy eating grass, listening the music. He is attached to being together with his wife in a garden of flowers. He listens to the songs of the swarm of bees. He is not only there, he is there along with his female companion, female deer. In front are hiding wolves, not fox, it is wolf. He moves about, not considering them, because he does not know. He is almost pierced by the arrows of a hunter hiding behind him. In the front side, there are wolves who are waiting for the right opportune moment. When the deer comes nearby, they will jump upon. Hunter is waiting for the right moment to shoot and get the meat. Find the deer and lead him quickly from the flower garden to another place. On his own, the deer cannot protect. You find out the deer, go and pick the deer and take it away and protect it from the danger of hunter as well as the wolves. Otherwise, either the wolves or the hunter will kill him. So now Pracinabarhi is looking. Where is the garden? Where is the deer? Where is the deer companion? Where is the hunter? Where is the tiger? You are creating an imagination. What do you mean by the story? He kind of put a face, a kind of innocent face. Then Narada Muni explained the meaning of the entire story. What the story means? Where will I search for such a deer? Which forest I have to go and search for it? Like that is asking. Then Narada Muni answers the meaning of the allegorical story. Can you please read? Okay, no one, I will only read. It's big translation. We'll also discuss while reading. While you contemplate the drop of sense enjoyment from the tongue and genital arising as a result of kamya karmas, which is actually insignificant, like the sweet fragrance of the flowers, which fades away in due course of time. So there are a couple of things are happening. The deer is eating the grass, moving about here and there, and enjoying the fragrance of the flowers, and also enjoying the music of the bumblebees singing. So now Narada Muni is saying that while you contemplate on the drop of sense enjoyment from the tongue and from the genital arising as a result of kamya karmas, My dear Pracinabarhi, you are performing so many yajna after yajna. For what purpose? You want to go to Swarga. So what you are going to get? You are going to get Amruta for your tongue and you are going to get Apsaras. You get the company of Apsaras there and you get the pleasure of drinking nectar. That is like the fragrance of the flowers in the garden, which does not last long, which eventually fade away. Which is like the sweet fragrance of the flowers which fade away in due course of time. The garden is the ashrama or garden of women. There the garden filled with so many flowers is like the ashrama filled with women, like basically Guru's ashram, whatever. From this point, the ashrama said means garden comparison. It is like the home, who are beautiful like flowers. The garden of women who are beautiful like the flowers, with your mind absorbed in sex life, like the deer with his mate. This is one story. The second point is that the deer is interested in hearing the music. With your ears, extremely greedy for attractive gossip with women, which is similar to the songs of the bees. So this is the scene in the Marine Beach. The students, they sit whole day, morning to evening, discussing with each other. What they discuss, we don't know. So while you play in houses without considering each second of time are the days and nights which steal away your life. You are completely absorbed in household activities. Currently, you are absorbed in performing yajna after yajna, yajna after yajna. So many thousands of years already passed in your lifespan. समझ में नहीं आता. Household activities take away all the time. Years pass away. Just like that. Like the pack of wolves hiding in front, waiting to kill you. The wolves are waiting. When you come nearby, they will pounce upon you and kill you. The wolves are the death. The death is waiting for us to, what you can say, to engulf us or to attack upon us. Yes or no? The death is actually waiting for us. Every rising and setting of the day, we are losing one day. The death is becoming more happy. Ah, you are coming close to me, you're coming close to me. Come, 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 come. I'm waiting for you. So it's like that. The wolves are also waiting. Come, come. Ajo, ajo. We are waiting for you. The wolves are the death. Like an unseen hunter lurking behind, pursues you with his arrows that pierces the heart. So in that way, both the wolves and the hunter are compared to the death. O king, you should understand that the deer pierced in the heart is you. The deer is no one else. It is you only. Interested in the heavenly opulences like Amruta and the Apsaras, you are submerged yourself in the performance of yajna after yajna, yajna after yajna, forgetting that your lifespan is depleting, forgetting that death is approaching soon. You are completely ignorant of the real purpose of life, attracted to insignificant pleasures. Like that, Narada Muni is telling that it's you only. I am telling you that the deer is in danger. That means you are in danger. Go and pick yourself away from this dangerous situation. Like that, Narada Muni. That means indirectly saying that you think that you can wait till the till your sons comes home and you can then you practice bhakti. What is the guarantee that you will live till they come? Before they come, you can die. Do you have any guarantee? Either the wolves can attack you or the death can, the hunter can attack you. No guarantee. Right now with the current time, you know what is the danger at your hand. Till now the deer does not know what is the danger. That's why it is freely wandering here and there. But you know that you are in danger. So do something. Like that, Narada Muni inspiring you. This verse is the explanation of the previous verse. The flower garden is the household life with women who are similar to flowers. The aroma of fresh jasmine is the youth. The fresh fragrance of the flowers is the youth, which is attractive, but becomes disgusting when old. When one is youthful, one is enthusiastic to enjoy. When one becomes old, is disgusted. This is the nature of household life. It is thus compared to eating insignificant grasses. The man absorbed in his wife's company, thinking of sex life, is compared to the deer attached to enjoying the company of its mate. The decrease of lifespan is compared to the wolves hiding in front. Moving about is compared to enjoying in the household life. Passing time, being absorbed in, deer is absorbed in eating. People are, the person is absorbed in one's activities in this world. Antasharena means by the arrows which goes deeply to the heart. This means a death inflicting weapon which is not recognized as such. The hunter is waiting for the right time. Similarly, the death is waiting for the right time. Death and as well as the wolves. You should see this. You should immediately leave the household life. This way, the deer will be saved from death. What do you mean by death? The deer, the jiva will be saved from rebirth or samsara. Because death means rebirth. Jatasya dhruvam mrityu. Dhruvam janma. So whoever is born in this world is sure to die. Whoever is dies without practicing bhakti is sure to take birth again. But whoever dies after practicing sufficient amount of bhakti, they will not take birth again. Janma karma cha me devyam evam yovachatatah taktva deha punarjanma naitamameti Arjuna. Such kind of people will not take birth. So what do you mean? What do we mean by saving that deer from the garden, from being attacked from the wolves and our hunter? You remember one verse comes in the second and third chapter. Hayur arati vaipumsham udyam asto chernaso tasyarte vaito nita uttama shloka varte. Last Sunday, Maharaj spoke on that only. Viraj Maharaj spoke on this verse only. He chose basically this verse. Saturday he spoke in Juhu temple, Sunday he spoke in Chapati temple. Same verse. Same class he gave. So, so whatever it is. So basically, for people in general, every rising and setting of sun taking away one day from their lifespan. But for devotees, it is not so. Because they are engaged in Uttama Shloka Varta. They are engaged in hearing or discussing Krishna Katha. And after that, they continue to do same thing. So उनके लिए जीवन रहे ना रहे उनका difference नहीं. So saving the day remains engaging ourselves in Uttama Shloka Varta. Kunti Maharani also says same thing. How to save ourselves? Shrinvanti gayanti grananti abhikshasha smaranti nandanti tavehitam jana tayeva pashyanti achirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam bhava padambujam. So those people who constantly hear, constantly sing, constantly speak, constantly remember, and constantly sing to others. First singing is oneself, second singing is for others. About your activities, only they, without delay, achirena, are able to see your lotus feet. Taeva pashyanti achirena tavakam padambujam. Without much delay, they will be able to see your lotus feet. See means, what do you mean by seeing lotus feet? Sorry? They will come to spiritual abode. They will go to spiritual abode and then they will be able to see your lotus feet continuously. Only those people will go back home back to Godhead, where they can see Lord's lotus feet continuously. And going back to home back to Godhead means that will destroy the influence of the material existence. They'll be freed from samsara. They'll be freed from fools and the hunter. So this is doing this means rescuing the deer. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and other things. Here basically these three are indicated directly or indirectly. So it is like that. So it's 8:30, but this is the last verse in that section. After 55, in the 56, the king starts asking questions. He will have some doubts and he will ask questions that we will discuss tomorrow. We'll just read this 55 and we'll close for today. Someone read the translation, or I will read, no problem. Hearing and reflecting on the actions of the deer. My dear king, hear and reflect on the actions of the deer. What deer is doing? Eating the grass, smelling the sweet fragrance of the flowers, and singing the sound of the bumblebees. Fix your mind within yourself, within the core of the heart, and understand the futility of the attractive results of the karma. Futility of the attractive results of karma. Bhoga and Aishwarya of the Swarga are futile. Understand that. Give up household life and the topics discussed by the materialists. That Yam Imam Pushutam Vacham Pravadante Pachita. Give up those talks. Accept the simple cottage of the devotees. Gradually become detached from everything that is around you and practice one-pointed bhakti and go back to Godhead. That should be taken as the most urgent and most important activity. It's like that. In this verse, Narada Muni makes the meaning clear. Vichaksha means considering in the context. Place the mind within the heart. Also place in the heart what is like the sweet sound of a river for the ears. The Shruti promises sweet topics such as Apama Somam Amruta Abhuma. We drank Soma and become immortal. The Vedas say that you go to Swarga and drink Soma, you become immortal. But no one becomes immortal by drinking Soma. You may live for a long time, but if one cannot become immortal, you should merge that knowledge in your heart. Whatever you have heard from the Vedas all these years that you should perform heaven, so that you should perform yajna so that you go to Swarga and enjoy everlastingly, you remove that. Merge that in the heart means you remove that. Remove that whatever you heard till now. Forget it. This means after considering the results of karma kanda, understand it useless. Shine punne martilokam vishanti. Like that. Accept the shelter of the swans. Take the shelter of the pure devotees. This means accept the leaf hut of the renounced devotees. Or it can mean please the Supreme Lord, who is the shelter of the devotees. Either take shelter of the pure devotees or take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Only that will give you the real benefit. Otherwise, either the wolves will attack you or the hunter will attack you. If you want to wait for some more time. Or the Karmakanda rituals are so, what you can say, they are so attractive, you may be impelled by them. You may be re-attracted by them. Better you attain some renunciation, some kind of detachment already sprouted in your heart. Start immediately. Don't wait for your sons to return. So this is how Narada Muni is inspiring our Pracinabarhi within the bracket, all of us to take up bhakti with more urgency. Huh? I don't know whether I'm inspired or not. I'm just doing some lip service. See, Prabhuji, coming to Brahmacharya ashram means it is not renunciation. Coming to Brahmacharya ashram is as good as you living in your home. It is no way different. आपका घर में जो भी है हमको आश्रम मंदिर में है सब कुछ है. It is no less than a house. Physically, we are in the temple. Conceptually, we are still in the home only. Yeah. Okay. No, this is reality. Hare Krishna, we are closing here. Any questions from devotees? I'm sorry we are late anyway, but if some.
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if there are
Thank
no
you,
questions.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much.